I'm happy to introduce to you today Rick McClatchy, who is a great friend of our congregation and a wonderful friend of mine for a long time as well. Rick is the coordinator of the Cooperative Baptist Fellowship of Texas. Now, some of you, by the way, welcome, Rick.
I'm glad to be here.
Glad to have you here. Some of you probably heard that we have lost our relationship recently to a state convention that we were part of for a very long time because of our church decision about full inclusion. But you might wonder, does that leave us sort of without friends? Certainly not, and thank you for being friends, all of you. But Rick represents the Cooperative Baptist Fellowship, which is active here in Texas as well as around the nation and the world, and that is our primary identity partner in mission. Rick, tell us some things about the Cooperative Baptist Fellowship and its purpose and mission.
Cooperative Baptist Fellowship is an organization that works on missions in the United States and globally. A great deal of our energy and attention is focused upon unreached people groups and people that are marginalized and neglected in their particular cultural context. And in Texas, of course, where we do that type of ministry in particular is along the Texas-Mexico border as a part of our Together for Hope Rural Poverty Initiative, where we selected the 20 poorest counties in the United States and agreed to work in those counties with volunteers from various churches for several decades. And Wilshire has worked numerous times on those particular projects, but we have a large grouping of those counties along the Texas-Mexico border. And then in Texas, another area that we work is with immigrants and refugees, because Texas is a very large recipient of immigrant and refugee populations. We have a field personnel or a missionary that is working in Fort Worth with refugee communities, and then in Houston we have a missionary couple that is working there with immigrant population, primarily Muslims in that particular community.
Wonderful. Well, so there are lots of flavors of Baptist is what we're saying, you know, Southern Baptist, Cooperative Baptist, American Baptist, National Baptist, Progressive National Baptist. You can go on and on. Baptists are just like that. We like to create groups and that sort of thing. But our primary identity partner, as I said, is the Cooperative Baptist Fellowship. It's now 25 years old, and we've been doing this work, and now a whole new generation has been born. And I know, Rick, that new generation is particularly exciting to you. Tell us about that next generation.
The next generation that we see coming is so exciting and so promising. I know that you get a sampling of that next generation through your residence program that you've had going on for many years here, but I want to tell you that what you are experiencing there is multiplied, manifold, as you go to the seminaries and to the other partner schools that we work with. It's so exciting to see these young leaders coming forward to help give the church leadership in this important transition time that we're having to go through in multiple congregations. I think that's an important part of my work in particular, is interacting and being with these new ministers. I remember it was Bill Brewster back here who invested a lot in younger ministers like me and George at one time.
Right. Exactly.
And
that's right. Thank you, Bill.
Made a significant impact upon our life. And of course, I'm trying to do the same thing, model that, and pass this on to the next generation as well. This next week, I'll be at Bright Divinity School. And in fact, I'll be...
TCU. At TCU.
At TCU.
Right.
And I will be teaching a J-term course for them on Baptist history and heritage. And one of your own is going to have to suffer with me through that whole week, right down here as well.
Wonderful. Which one is that?
Right.
Jarrett Jaggers. Very good. Okay. Yes. Well, and please teach Baptists who Baptists are. That's a really good thing these days, as a matter of fact.
And in fact, we respect local church autonomy as a part of CBF.
Really? That's a wonderful thing. We're so glad about that. Now, I just want you to know that all through the season of Epiphany, every Sunday, we'll be talking about one of our mission partners and learning more about the mission work of Wilshire and its partnership. Every time you give to the unified budget of our church, you are giving to support the work of the Cooperative Baptist Fellowship and all the things that Rick has been talking about. But you have a presentation to make before we close.
I do. Heather, would you come up here? You may not know this, but Heather has been selected as the moderator-elect. This is a 3-year term as an officer that she will be serving for CBF of Texas. And I want to say thank you to this congregation for allowing her the time to help serve Texas Baptist in this capacity. I first met Heather when she was working on one of these rural poverty initiatives down in the valley with a team from Wilshire. And I noticed that she was carrying a 50-pound bag of either beans or rice. And I thought, man, anyone that has that much passion and energy for missions, especially since Heather probably only weighs 87 pounds soaking wet. And I understand, though, it sort of left a permanent imprint on her back after that week down there. But we were so excited to have her come and serve as an officer for us. And so on behalf of the organization, I want to give you this gift. It's a small token of our appreciation of your willingness to be able to serve for us in this capacity. And thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Rick and Heather, and we're grateful to be partners with you.